Welcome back to Pokemon Violet Nuzlocke 2, Part 13. Last time, we took on the Elite Four. Rika went down easily. Poppy went down easily. Larry went down, actually quite easily. Our Flamingo could have been in a lot more trouble if we didn't do so well against it. And then Hassel happened. Oh boy, did Hassel happen. And let's face it, we even lost Pokemon to Geeta because I just wasn't giving a shit. Her team is that bad. Well, I'm like, nah, I don't care. And then I took at least a L in the process because I was at that moment of a lapse of judgment. Some of our Pokemon even barely survived. And Gastrodon, even Medicham, being horribly over-leveled, shows that it really has just that bad of base stat totals where even though it is a pure power and it is level 90, 4 health, 4. Brutal, that is. Garchomp went away with some amount of injuries. Oh, Masquerada didn't. Masquerada's perfectly fine. It's probably just licking his paws being like, yep, no. But we must, of course, give considerations to all that have died here. Yama, landed. Gyarados did so well to help us out in the fight against Hassel. Titan, even Ogapon, and Talonflame by my own stupidity. Everything else during the Elite Four, it was unfortunate. So first things first, we shall heal. It's the best thing to do. And then, once we heal, we must determine what we're doing next. Obviously, there's the Nemona fight, though. Do we really want to be taking on level 66 Pokemon? Not necessarily. Our team... actually, what we've got in our pile right now actually isn't too bad. Actually, we could fight Nemona possibly, but I think there's an order to the proceedings. We've got Arvin still and his team, and we've got Clavel and his team, and then Penny and her evolutions. Pardon me. So, while we consider our options in the actual boxes of Pokemon we have, some of these lower level than others, what does Arvin have to say for himself? Oh god, a number of those don't want to show up on the thing. That's real bad, game. Tracker, that's real bad. Greedent is our first thing to think of. Its sole weakness is fighting. We have Medicham, an over-leveled Medicham, so by all accounts, theoretically speaking, we should not have to worry too much, actually. Is what I would like to say. High Jump Kick really is screwing us over quite a bit, I actually have to say. It's not helping me out in the slightest. So maybe I want to level Pawmont or Hawlucha, or even Tauros. And just have maybe a bit better odds. Keep in mind, Greedent is actually 95 base defense. Not bad. 120 base health. That's actually quite good. Moving along is another physically defensive Pokemon in Cloyster. Cloyster's base 180 defense is actually quite brutal because it means that it actually is able to take quite a nice hit from a super effective fighting rock, grass or electric maneuver. Also, while it is weak to grass, grass is also weak to it because of its ice typing and Icicle Spear, which hits 2 to 5 times in a turn, so you can't necessarily rely on a grass type now. Obviously, we have more Pokemon that can actually take it on. Hell, Gastrodon we can lob agent power at it, although maybe a better special rock move would be better. Who knows? Scovillain's grass fire typing counteracts the ground weakness it would have as a fire type, and the grass typing actually doesn't harm it too much. Its weaknesses are walk, flying, and poison. But it has fire blast, so taking up a steel type like Weather Room is a bad idea. So a more pure poison would work better. A flying type would work quite well involved in this proceedings. Hell, technically we could just use Garchomp. None of it, it's not able to hit it super effectively, though stab energy ball, stab fire blast, probably still best to be on the cautious side. Then there is of course Toedscruel. It's 4 times weak to ice. If I have a spare, if a Pokemon I have in my box could learn an ice type move, that would be appreciated, or we can throw in Frostlass. However, we need to be able to not die to ground. Oh dear, we can die to ground. So, we just gotta think on a higher level than necessity speaks. We move back to having Pokemon that are weak to fighting with Gargansol. It has water, grass, fighting, ground, and steel weaknesses, but a base 130 defense body press. That's brutal. That could be quite annoying. And Purifying Salt as an ability is always a fun one. And of course, Mass Positive, which will tear it into dark, has fighting, fairy, and bug weaknesses. But to try and counteract some of these shenanigans that you may have, Fire Fang stops you from using Masquerada. Boo. But Play Rough also does the job quite nicely. In fact, yeah, Play Rough actually harms me unless I'm using Weather Room at the moment. Also, the Intimidate stops me from using physical attacker, at least immediately. I have to switch out and switch in. So, you know. So that's his team. A lot of fighting weaknesses, so Medicham is useful throughout. But also our other fighting types may fare a little bit better in 1 or 2 of the shenanigans. Obviously Heracross less so because of its bug typing, or Lucha has to deal with its flying typing, but... And all of them are, and outside of Medicham, all of them are weaker to the shenanigans that happen to be Psychic Fangs. That's the thing, Psychic Fangs are there to definitely counteract you trying to use a fighting type on it. Good idea, because that is coverage. And it's got 4 different types of moves, so we can't just rely on it trying to do one move in particular and set up through that. In reality, looking at it, Pormon, if Pormon was of level, it takes a lot of damage from both Fire Blast and Energy Ball. Tenebba is super effective. So two of his Pokemon's got Psychic Maneuvers, Light Screen on the Cloister, and it's probably guaranteed to survive a hit unless you happen to have a Lucario with Aura Sphere lying around somewhere. Which makes them all more bulkier in the physical side of things. Ground Grass means that at the end of the day, it has definitely got some good stuff with Earth Power, Power Whip, Spore with Mercy and Might, meaning you'll get a hit in, and then you're asleep. And Sludge Bomb, of course, this is a poison maneuver, so I can't just use my Masquerada again. God damn it. But then again, Masquerada wouldn't be the best option for the ground grass type. Again, I'm having to consider my options. So we might need to think a little bit hard on that one. Meanwhile, on Clefairy's team, normal Psychic and Guru, the Grass Ice or Bomber Snow, the Poltegeist, the Amoonguss, the Gyarados. You know how effective a Gyarados can be. And it's all physical maneuvers, so he's going to be using the better stat. No! And of course, the starter that's good against stars in Skeledirge. And it will tear into fire, so it hasn't got that ghost typing to really harm it. With good physical bulk and special offensiveness, Clefairy could prove to be a bigger challenge than Penny and her Sylveon, Sylveon's her main one, but her various evolutions. Umbreon can't really do as much damage due to its more pitiful attacking stats. Vaporeon will hit you hard with a Hydro Pump or a Aurora Beam, or could just end up using Baby Doll Eyes. Like an happen to. In fact, they all have Baby Doll Eyes. No. Jolteon is fast and hits hard with its thunders if it hits. Base 180 Flare Blitz for Flareon's 130 base attack is forever brutal. Leafeon has Leaf Blade, and Otorex Scissor for coverage. And then Sylveon, and it's adorable and pink and whatnot. So yeah, those are the 3 fights I ideally want to do first. Before we fight Nemona, because Nemona's got the highest level ones. In fact, Arvin is actually the weakest of the lot, actually. Although his Pokemon go from 58 to 63, Gravel's goes from 60 to 61, and Penny is 62 to 63. So, really, actually, Gravel's actually meant to be slightly easier then, as they all happen to be more of around the same level. So maybe we'll fight Gravel first. Just guarantee that we've got Pokemon that are ready for that. Oranguru has a Dark weakness and a Bug weakness. Our Mousecavada actually is a good choice to open with. It just is. It can't hit it super effectively since Foul Play is resistance, and Dream Eater cannot be used whatsoever due to the Dark typing, so even if Yawn does go off, we actually don't have to worry too much, and Reflect will certainly cause us to not be able to hit as hard physically. Light Screen especially, I made my mistake earlier. Abomasnow is where issues will occur. While it has a 4 times weakness to fire, you may be remiss to think that, well, something horrible did happen and all my fire types died. So, the question is which Pokemon do I have that will definitely have a good fire type maneuver that won't get harmed by the rest of the moveset? Well, I mean, Mismagius, if it can tank a Wood Hammer, could possibly with Mystical Fire. In fact, Mismagius against the Oranguru, it will guarantee go for Foul Play, so we certainly cannot set up on it. So, sadly we can't try and do any shenanigans, but especially offensively speaking, it's quite nice. So maybe Mismagius will be a good option here. I'm just spitballing ideas, however I am going to change its moveset therefore, because Substitute is not going to help me out here. I want Mystical Fire, as it will be one of my best options for fighting the Abomasnow. So yeah, we'll put Mismagius on the team. I'll sort this out on the tracker in a minute. Poltegeist is a ghost type, so Mousecavada can come right back in, although we do have to be careful. It does have Shell Smash, which means it can raise its already quite high special attack of 134 even higher, because it does raise them by 2 stages, as well as its physical attack, which, I mean, oh no, its Sucker Punch is actually going to hurt now, and its defense stats go down by 1, oh, and its speed goes up. So you get 1 turn of definitely being faster, basically. But we might kill it because it's not got that good of physical stats. Among Us Grass Poison typing. Now you might think, okay, it's a poison type, Mousecavada definitely ain't going to be in on this one. Well, actually, fun fact, it doesn't actually have a poison move. Well, it does. It has Toxic. But it doesn't have a poison move. It uses Hex. In fact, that's actually not a bad strategy. Spore puts your Pokemon to sleep. Effect Spore gives it an even more of a chance for your Pokemon to get paralyzed, poisoned, or sleeped. And Toxic is badly poisoned, which, so you know, that's not good. And Giga Drain can keep the Amoonguss's health up. So if you have any Pokemon that happens to be really, really good against the Grass Poison type, now's the time to use it. Although obviously not Gastrodon, because Giga Drain kills it. Maybe the Still Poison of Weather Room is not a bad option for this, as although we don't hit it super effectively, we certainly do harm it, stop it from being able to do much offensively to us. But we do have a number of Psychic type Pokemon and even Flying type Pokemon that can definitely come in and do their job. Corviknight, for example, it's super effective, and none of the moves really do as much damage thanks to, well, it's still typing being very, very good. So we could theoretically hit it with a very strong flying maneuver from a Corviknight. Corviknight's only level 50 though, so we'll have to either go grinding on chances or on tearaway dens to get the XP candies to get it up to level 60 so that it's actually of level, but it's an option. We'll move it into box 2 because box 2 tends to be where I'm doing my considerations of Pokemon. So like these ones just end up being here just because we don't have space really. So yeah, Corviknight may be an option. Like then we have to consider Gyarados. What fight are you going down for? I'm planning to fight Clefairy and his team. Obviously, with his Gyarados, they are all physical maneuvers: Stone Edge, Earthquake, Crunch, and Aqua Tail. I have apparently not zipped up my trousers from earlier. That's a bit embarrassing. So we do have to consider that when it comes to any Pokemon. However, 4 times Electric weakness. Looking through my team, well, the Pokemon I have a Killer Wattrel that dies to Stone Edge. Ah, what about Pormont? That dies to Earthquake. Ha! All our electric types die horribly. Hooray! What other Pokemon do I have that could be useful? Garchomp can tank a hit, but besides that, not really anything that you can do on that one. Ironically, you could use Nasty Plot Masquerade Self on his own Guru. That is true. As I was saying earlier, at the end of the day, sure, it has Yawn. Sure, it has Reflect. But Dream Eater is an immunity due to its psychic typing, and Foul Play doesn't do much because it's a resistance. So, it does mean that Masquerade can definitely set up. But a Bomber Snow. Snow Warning Blizzard. Masquerade dies to Blizzard. A grass type tends to do that, funnily enough. So, that all the Gyarados' flying typing is doing on me is removing its various weaknesses that the water type would have, aka grass. But it doesn't mean it is weak to Wop. I need a good Wop type. I don't have any locations left unless I want to tango with Blueberry Academy. Meow learns Aurasphere and should one-hit KO at +6. I need to check to see if I've got Aurasphere. So anyway, we can figure out what we're doing with the Gyarados in a minute, because we have got one last Pokemon to discuss, of course, and that is the Skeledirge. It's got a myriad of weaknesses due to its ghost typing, but then we have to ignore its myriad of weaknesses thanks to the ghost typing because it tears into pure fire. It is the style that is good against us, so obviously we probably shouldn't have Masquerade up front for that one, but we do have this thing that's really, really good against a fire type, a Gastrodon. So Torch Song won't do too much, Earth Power won't do too much, Shadow Ball won't do too much because it will lose its stab. And Snarl is Snarl, and it's a weaker move overall, but would be useful in, say, a double battle, which this isn't. With that Snarl then, not some other dark move that is more powerful for this point in the game. But, yeah, well. So, really, Skeledirge, I'm not too worried about. Now, so yes, let us... So, while I'm considering Corviknight as an option, let us check, do I have access to Aurasphere in any way, shape or form? I should have access to everything that you get into the TM machine. Aurasphere. I need some Charcadet suit and something else that I've not got. I'm going to assume it's Milolu related. So I can go and easily deal with the Charcadet thing quite quickly. That's real easy to get my hands on. Charcadets tend to show up in this side of Mesagoza. Now, obviously I'm not going to head into the academy at night. That will trigger the Clefairy fight. But we could go into the academy during the day, as we could attempt to go into Blueberry. At the end of the day, we can catch every Pokemon Pokemon that we happen to encounter. We just have to be cautious of the level of the Pokemon as a whole against the level of my Pokemon. And at the end of the day, my Medicham is over-leveled, more so than even Lacey's Pokemon are in that one battle you have to do. Where are the Charcadats? I know they spawn in parts of this area. But it certainly is something, though. Because the thing is with that would be, there's not too many areas in addition to what we've... In addition, to be fair though, with Blueberry, because there's what? There's the canyon, the coastal, the savannah, and the polar biomes in and of themselves. Then there are a few cave areas, like Torchlit Labyrinth and Chargestone Caverns, which is meant to be more in reference to the place in Unova that's full of electric stuff. So I'm just saying that the options are there. I think this is my proof as what I mean when I say I feel like they made the spawn rates of Pokemon more even on the Switch one. When I see an actual amassment of Ghastlies even. I'm aghast. So recently I was that's a Charcadet. Oh wait, I have Mouse Guard up. Ah, it doesn't matter. Charcadet's level like 15, yeah. We'll just Night Slash. Recently I was watching someone IRL try to do a bit of farming on the current outbreaks of like mine them, and they recently got a shiny Graveler. Lo and behold, another shiny Graveler, and it's just like, man, what sort of luck is this? Why can't I get that lucky? And then I remember, oh yeah, I practically get shiny every playthrough, like at this rate, like. Right, so that should have been the. So you know, I can't really be like, man, some people are lucky. Right, so that should be the Charcadet stuff we needed. Where does it put the Charcadet? I have no idea how it's... Actually, is it listed by generation? In which case, that means it should be somewhere around this stuff then. Oh, I only got the one. Oh, I need another one. Oh, Charcadet, kindly give me your suit. No, that doesn't sound weird. I'm weird. The weirdo is me. Backwards. Ah, gentlemen. It's the one that spawns where we went to. But wait, no, Charcadets can show up in other areas. Oh, that's it. Maybe I just need to move myself to a different part of the area in hopes that they do show up. And then I'm gonna need to think, what else could it possibly be that Charcadet not other than the Charcadet I wouldn't be surprised if it's related. I wouldn't be. I'll be honest, I don't spend my time trying to remember every single different thing based off of a Pokemon dropping it. Because I've never really had to think that far ahead, really. Usually it's like, oh, I have this Pokemon, I can give it this move. I don't have that move. Oh well. So, ugh. Woe is me when it comes to playing Magic Online on Magic the Gathering Arena. Like, God, I'm bad. Or maybe I just don't know what the meta is. Cause boy, oh boy, do I get wrecked. Okay, so supposedly Tracker Decks can spawn here. Supposedly. Funnily enough, I'm not seeing any. They get fake tears though. Seeing more old sprays. Chocolate! I need you to spawn. I need you to spawn so I can have your suit. If I say suit one too many times, I'll suddenly reference a Minecraft YouTuber that rightfully got cancelled. Oh, there we go. You just need one bit of suit. There we go. Right, okay, now I'm off to... We are off to around here to go into area 4 of the South Province so that we can hunt down Willolu for a second, because I believe that that would be what we need to do. If I'm wrong, I haven't been corrected, so I can assume I am right. And I'm in the wrong way. Why do I ever enjoy geography? I get turned around so easily. No, then again, I get turned around in this game so easily. When it comes down to it, like in real life, it's harder to get all turned around, to be fair. Or at least it feels like that. There's the cipher. That's not what we're looking for. I know you can find Willolus around here. Although it could always of course it could always be, you can find them in the day. And we're at night. Oh look, toxin. Yeah, I could have toxicity. No. Oh, then again. Like, that was so long ago, part-wise. I said this on the recent de-stressing edition of me just leveling a class for a bit in Final Fantasy, but I do ponder whether or not I'll just do like a more standard playthrough of a game that I haven't got as much experience with, just to bide the time between now and leveling CA. Because I'm thinking it through. It's like we've got the 4 boss fights left with the base story of the 3 stories for Paldea at the moment, and then we've got Area 0. I don't know how you face off against the Paradox Pokemon Violet in conjunction to the ones that you fight in Scarlet. So that'll be interesting. Like, I am aware of what they are, because I can look at them in Pokédexes and whatnot, but and I've certainly have had my fair share of getting battered by 1 or 2 of them, so maybe we'll find like the best Paradox one that we can get real easily, catch it with a quick catch, quick ball, and then sweep Area 0. Hello, Mudbrain. You get flower tricked. You're probably not the same one that used strength on the barrel the way back in that previous part, but a little bit over. Ooh, body press. Body press is only useful if you've got a really good defense static Pokemon. Otherwise it's just kind of there. It's like, it's still a decent fighting type move, but it is only useful in a defensive Pokemon. And even then it has to be a defensive Pokemon that you'd actually want to hit an attacking move with. Well, you know, coverage is coverage. Hey, so we need at least another one, otherwise I'll end up going back there and you'll be like, yeah, you don't have enough. Yep. It's a nasty plot, a bunch, and then all a sphere. And we are, and at the end of the day, Mouse Squad is higher level, but still we should always forever be careful of quality. Although we shouldn't have to worry too much actually, because if we're set up properly, then Mouse Squad should be able to do fine, just on the premise of Aura Sphere can't miss. So we go fast, we hit hard enough. Because really, Dark beats Psychic, Fighting beats Ice, Dark beats Ghost, Night Slash beats Poltergeist up real easily, and then Among Us, Among Us is Among Us. I just have to be careful on that front. Of the Toxic, possibly. Then Gyarados doesn't have any water moves, but that's a blessing in disguise. Flying moves, but that's a blessing in disguise because its flying typing does mean that it's not going to be weak to grass. And then Skeletor is definitely a I want a different Pokemon up front. So yeah, although Aura Sphere is special, so and I was right, below Lufa. That should be my name now. I should be known as Below Lufa. No, don't call me that. But you know, we'll take it over you, Tom. Sadly, we are special attack down. So if we are to use, that's it, 100% Nasty Plot is going to have to be used. Do I have Nasty Plot available in amongst these? No, I do not. Do I have Nasty Plot in any way, shape or form in Masquerada then? As a move, as a reminder move. Home Claws, Trick, Darting Trailblaze. I do not have it. Do I have a Nasty Plot TM by any chance? It just isn't one I can make. Okay, I don't have Nasty Plot in any way, shape or form for Masquerada. Okay, right. So that's a strategy that we may just not use as the main one then. After all, we do have Medicham after all. Right. So as I was thinking of Corviknight being on the team for this, because Steel typing is quite useful for assistances, plus the flying typing is wonderful against the Among Us. Otherwise, I'm still questioning what I'm going to do against the Gyarados. That's base 100 Stone Edge and 100 on the Earthquake, so gliding is so fun. And inside here we find a 2-star round. why am I doing this? I could just grind on Blissies again if I really want to grind a Pokemon up, but then I'm over leveling a Pokemon as well in the process, so... I'll do a Tailwave though, since I've really been into it. Look at this. It's just... Alright, okay, that was a simple one. I mean, we got medium, but honestly, we do need to probably go and do the Blissey stuff again, probably, and just like hammer that one home. Put a bunch of Pokemon we want to use in amongst all the fights on the team, fight Blissies with them, and just... Mesagoza at the moment is just a massive let's not go in, sadly. Because, yeah, it's... I'm thinking that Corviknight wouldn't be a bad option just as a backup. I'm thinking of other Pokemon that could be useful. How useful would... August doesn't eat physical attacks well. Toadcool doesn't either. Nor does Heracross. Tingaton dies to Earthquake. Vikavolt dies to Stone Edge. Bronzong. Only thing Bronzong has to worry about mainly is the crunch. Rouge wouldn't be a bad option. Corviknight can actually tank a number of the hits actually. Just gotta be careful of its. Just gotta be careful of the Intimidate. Magic dice to everything. That physical attack, 125 physical attack is gonna high no matter what. It's fast, but not really got much to it. Pormont has to rely on its speed essentially. So I would kill a Wattrel. But that 4 times weakness to electric is brutal. So if we use a fast electric type that can hit its defense stat and not have to worry about the Intimidate by switching in and being able to survive a hit, that would be lovely. The only way I can think of that, we have Luxray as well, and the Shiny Claws means I'm not going to be all over it, but there's an option. Pretty much every single electric Pokemon I've got, other than Killer Wattrel, would want to be in, I think. Well, no, Vikavolt, 145 base special defense. It's just, it can't. It's just like Stone Edge has a heightened chance of critical hits, so you need to think that through. Killer Wattrel dies to Stone Edge, but we can get at least a hit in. But it hits for its better special defense. That's the only issue on that one. All my electric types are weak, relatively weaker than they should be. Heracross has a good... No, Heracross' stat line is bad. We have a Cloyster. We can tank pretty much everything besides Stone Edge with a Cloyster due to its water typing giving it resistance. But yeah, ice typing screws it up. Unless we Terror Orbed. Unless we Terror Orbed Cloister and we gave it a real good move that just decimates. But more dice to Earthquake. Napoleon gets hurt by Earthquake. A number of these don't take physical hits all too well. Which is why Corviknight wouldn't be the worst option still anyway, because it's immune to the Earthquake, and then everything else it can tank better because it's got the physical defense that we'd have to worry about more. Yeah, let's see. I'm actually tempted to use Garchomp, mainly just because Garchomp can handle a lot of these Pokemon outside of Bomber Snow, but everything else. Maybe this is Medicham. I want to take Medicham off because I want to think without having to use an over-leveled Medicham. So, like, if I purposely, all the Pokemon I like the idea of using are more of level, aren't they? An ice type for Mungus wouldn't be the worst thing ever. So, Fossilist I'm considering potentially using. Otherwise, I need to consider the other option I got. How well would a Jolteon do? So, if I can't be too sure. It would die to Earthquake anyway. I still haven't had one. I'm not considering all my options. Arendose dies to everything. Trio dies to everything. Quagsire actually doesn't, supposedly. Amoonguss probably doesn't as well. No, it doesn't actually. One thing we could do is switch over to, like, Among Us. Like, actually have Among Us have Spore. Have it be the high enough level. So I'm thinking about some of these Pokemon potentially being involved in fights. We could swap over to Among Us. It doesn't need to worry about the Intimidate whatsoever. We use Spore. Switch to a Pokemon that is more likely to have an electric move that can basically either near one shot or does one shot. So we can have like Vikavolt or Pormon or Kilowattrel at the ready. Like, what do they have to offer? Thunder Punch, but it is 4 times weakness. Whereas Kilowattrel's got Discharge, that could actually prove to be better in that sense. Sadly, we're not going to get it to be charged for any wind moves. As a special attack down, not ideal. Vikavolt is speed up defense down with Levitate, so we don't have to worry about Earthquakes, but we do have to worry about other maneuvers. We could switch to Vikavolt, and then get lucky hopefully, but we just have to be careful of the Stone Edge still, and the Aqua Tail could also hurt. But it's a strategy. We'll consider putting Vikavolt on the team. This is the thing. I'm brainstorming all these ideas because Masquerada's going to do a good job. Don't get me wrong, but we need other strategies and just hoping that we hit hard enough to win continuously. Skeledirge really, Skeledurge, I think my best strat for Skeledurge is just going to be Gastrodon. Just Gastrodon being able to hit fire really well. So Weather Room I might just not have on the thing, because if I'm beating up half the team, so if what I do is I put Weather Room back for now, I put Garchomp back for now. I want to maybe use these three as well, but I'm realizing I can't use all these Pokemon because they're going to not all be usable due to I can only have 6. So if I'm using Masquerada and I want to use Gastrodon, hell, even maybe Empoleon even against the Skeledurge is better in a way. Nah, Earth Power. What Terra typing though do we have? Water. We could Terra Water Empoleon on Skeledurge. So the Steel typing does its job against other Pokemon, and then the Water typing is effective. So again, I'm considering. So maybe I'll use Empoleon over Gastrodon, which means I might not even use Corviknight because Empoleon does get. Yeah, I have Air Slash on it. So and Grass Knot. So Empoleon, actually, we'll use Empoleon on Amoonguss, which means I don't even need the Mystical Fire approach with Miss Magius other than the Abomasnow. And then I don't need to use Frostlass necessarily. But I'm still wanting to use Amoonguss on the thing, so this is what I'm currently planning. Gastrodon's still not a bad option now, and I'm thinking maybe we still want to use like Corviknight or something. Right, let's put these on the bottom row. That's representative of what I'm planning. So these 4 plus Amoonguss plus, honestly, based on what there is, Corviknight's a good option. Plus Corviknight. And then if because I want to see if I've got the right sandwiches still for farming Blissey's. While we could level something else up as well. It could be useful. Oh yeah, Iron Dose is level 54. Cross Poison. Does it have access to Toxic Thread? Yeah. No, it doesn't. Huh. Not a bad moveset, just stats as shit. Some of these other Pokemon I've got would maybe have use. I'm just trying to think. I'm still thinking I'm going to want to use Frostlass for any ice shenanigans. Other than that, if I could get... I honestly don't know what other Pokemon I want to have for any of the fights right now. Maybe that's one thing I also need to think of, is there any other Pokemon I want to just... Maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit, but maybe I want one or two other Pokemon leveled, just as a way to make sure I've definitely got Pokemon ready for when they are useful, potentially. So if I wanted a fire type, I could obviously turn this into nice attack down, special defense up, its spell of being one of the more special offensive ones. Might just see how well these do against Blissey's, maybe. Right, let's set up a picnic here just to check if I've got the sandwich required. The things required for the sandwich that I want to make. How did I grab all those recipes? Okay, I have... That's weird. Okay, so I do have a ham sandwich. I do have this stuff for the ham sandwich. So I can do that over in the correct province. If I'm gonna farm on Blissey's, I want to farm maybe a bit more on them with one or two of the other Pokemon I've got here. Actually, you know what? Maybe leveling Dachshund's a good idea, because at least then when I do fight a fire type and I want to, say, maybe use Well Baked to be like, aha. I'm surprised Portmont's so low level. We just stopped using it. That's unfortunate. Otherwise, low level Pokemon that I might actually have a use for. Yeah, we'll make sure Portmont's leveled. It's always good to have backup strats, and then we'll throw Tinkaton on the thing for the moment. So the tracker's completely not representative of what's on my team at the moment. But to be fair... Oh, I thought Gyarados Outbreak. Ooh. That's interesting to note. Shiny Hunt, no, of course, but I won't Shiny Hunt. That's like the one thing I'm not doing. Right, let's head into the area. Plenty of Pokemon I like. And Dachshund's glitching into the ground. Well, let's make that sandwich before we end up having Dachshund going to the back rooms. There it is. Ham sandwich. There we go. I've stacked the ham. Means we get to eat food for once. Yay. Right, 3 stars. Lovely stuff. Megaton's very happy. Poor monster's sleeping. No. Random stuff, good. I don't care about egg groups, but if they did happen randomly, then I'll be sure to take notice of that. Chances in amongst all those bloody things though. Oh yeah, we have pressure. Huh. Oh, pardon me. Let's see this thing. It tries to use double edge. Oh no. That's so horrible. This moveset's not good. Power Trip's not going to be as useful because that basically is saying I'm going to set up for 20 times. Let's see. Ooh. These Blissey's and Chances are the same idea. It's just, hey, I've got a great idea. Let's use double edge. Not the wisest decision making skills now, I'd argue. They want to run raw. Feral Mecha wants to run raw. I mean, no. It's so weird seeing hobbits walk. But you think they'd just constantly be in the air, twirling towards freedom. But no, they're just standing there. Not that menacing, to be honest. There's a jump bluff as well. Oh. This Terra Den is a 2-star thingy with Ghost Terra type, so insert good Pokemon to use on Ghost type. But I need to think what other moves. I do need to maybe adjust the moves out too still, which is a little silly that it's a card like that. But another thing called the Night's useful on. It could maybe give it body plus. If it can learn it. I feel like most of my Pokemon besides Mecha are going to end up being high level. Knockoff is same, a bit more power than Brutal Swing. And it does more of a target held item. Yeah, we'll have it then. Only thing is most of my, unless I'm going into Blueberry, I don't think I'm going to be seeing items really. Being used at the very least. Just about. I realized that for whatever reason, I tend to end up playing white decks as of late when it comes to Magic the Gathering, both in real life and on like Magic the Gathering Arena. But to be fair, when you get basically from the packs that the game gave me for free for the Final Fantasy stuff, I basically got all of the key cards needed for a Hope deck So I'm naturally going to build one. Because holy shit, I can gain a lot more life. And I can then also mill my opponent a whole lot more. I wish I had a couple more mill cards, but for my on the opponent side of things, but I'm baffled why the AI would ever try using Last Resort when it has moves that it can still use. You know? Just so weird. Discharge, discharge, discharge. It is a stronger maneuver, but at the same time, it isn't as good because special. So you've been doing a lot of battles when Sylveon's not showing its terror typing. That is its health stat coming well into effect. There we can get power drip. I'm serious, like, why do I still have Power Trip and Hone Claws? Do I not have anything better? Oh, Wave Bird. I mean, that would be bad, but Wave Claw damage scares me. Iron Defense. Screech would at least lower that defense. I mean, I could go for Iron Defense and then what TMs can we run? Yeah, Body Press. So that's a strategy we could use then. Is Iron Head better than Steel Wing? It is actually. Ooh. No, we want TMs. I'm actually half tempted to have Body Press over Power Trip. And then what I do is remember Iron Defense. And then the idea is we use Iron Defense on any physical attacker. And basically Corviknight becomes a lot more untouchable. And then from there, Body Press, if it's weak to fighting, or at least neutral to fighting, does a good amount of damage then by that logic. Because we'd be upping it with Iron Defense. So, you know. Lovely stuff. Right. This is ideally what we want to hit. That one was running away. Apparently that counts as catching her off guard. How much does a regular Body Press do? Right, any burst? Or... Yep, one hits because it's super effective. Hooray! It's so weird. One that's running away because it actively saw me, I catch off guard. But one that's just standing there, not paying attention whatsoever. What's line Charm? At this point in time, Charm. Charm. Does harshly lower a target's attack stat. To be fair, I like the idea of just using Work Up and then Band Passing. As like more of a defensive maneuverability. But, you know, maybe we need other moves on here then. We'll come back to that. Because Charm is useful, don't get me wrong, but it depends really if that's the strategy you want to go for. What did I just drove into? What? Sunflower? Off guard? How did I catch it off guard? Oh, let's just drill pack it. Fucking Sunflower, it doesn't need to, it doesn't deserve living. Still giving me a level up, so I'll take what I can get then. us off guard, to be honest. Oh, hop it! Hop it, you bitch. Feels like most of my streams of late is primarily me grinding. This is why I think I need to find a game I want to play and stream that doesn't involve grinding in any way, shape or form. So to that end, what could that be? How if P5X at the end of the day is going to end up with a lot of grinding because I'm sure I'm not using my weapons as high as they can be, all my skills on any of my characters. So, and there's the rest of the first palace we can go and explore. I'm not sure if I have a way of going into everything, but... Right, Frostlass is level 60. But we are fighting 60 to 60. Move on for the moment, but... Oh, the Chansey! No! Magic Gathering. I'm thinking because it's like the Thunder Junction pre-con I've got is Mario. I've ended up. All the Final Fantasy decks have some amount of white to them. Pretty much the best cards I've got on Arena right now are white. So that means Chang Azurus and S. Final Fantasy 14 decks pre-con is quite good, which is Esper. It's a control deck, so yeah, we're getting Crunch finally. See, that's good. That's good. Our closest among us to 5,000 XP. Okay, well, what do we have in my bag so I don't have to... Nah, not enough, clearly. Okay, 60. Yeah, the main three that I wanted to 60, we've gone to, so... I think that means we'll put them down here as well. Like, these are the ones I want to use down here. But obviously, I have to choose one that I'm not using, you know? So it's like Corviknight, maybe not. It's like, I think what I want is Frostlass, Amoonguss, Phycophalt, Miss Magius, and Masquerada, and then either Apollyon or Corviknight. And then... So what I'll do is, you know what, some of these guys, we can level them up more again later. If we really wanted to. Oh yeah, can't do that. So Masquerada comes back in. I want Miss Magius as a good way. Miss Magius might be a case of it's either Miss Mag, or maybe it's a case of Miss Magius or Frostlass, because otherwise that's two ghost types, you know. Like, my plan for the Gyarados is going to be a simple Amoonguss Spore into Phycophalt. I'm saying Empoleon's a good option just because it's water typing, Terra Water Empoleon for the Skeledirge. then let's go Frostlass and Corviknight. As much as I think Miss Magius might be better in some ways, in other ways I'm thinking Frostlass. Which means I want to make sure it's new set. And the thing is, the snow we end up, because we do end up with snow from the thing, but then again, it's Frost Breath is what we're using, so I'm thinking, nah, I want, you know what, no, I want Miss Magius, because Miss Magius is the better option for in event of a bomb of snow just tanking the daylights out of Masquerada. So while there are still Blissies about, we're not going to level up for them. We are now gonna... So if I head to the academy part... Wait. Let's throw a save. Then we shall travel to the academy part, because it's currently daytime, you see. We can't go into Messagosa fully, because Nimona will be there at the battlefield, in the battle court, which is in the middle of the fucking town. So, or city, I don't know what its class does. Yeah. Whereas this bit here, we don't trigger, although Clive is there. Are we able to fight him at night, in day? I thought it'd be at night only. Oh, and I have not healed, Have I made sure Masquerada's got its stats? I should probably check to make sure I've got items I could probably give. I have an air balloon. Let's try and count it. Otherwise, and we're going for a defense building. Right, we might end up being able to fight Clefairy at this point. I don't actually recall whether or not this is the part that you have to do at night. Although it's like... Clavel? Oh yeah, okay, so yeah. Clavel at this point's like, haha, see? It was me all along. Clefairy was Clive. Yeah, knew that. But he also does the I'm Cassiopeia thing. That's impossible. One of those high-tech gizmos. Okay, so Clefairy, you still can fight during the day then. Okay, I thought you had to be here at night. Well then. It's a shame we couldn't have Nasty Plot, but ah well. It does mean I'm actually a bit more... I've got to be a bit more cautious when it comes to Born Snow then. So yeah. The fight begins, I guess. Oh, and my team is completely off. We actually have Apollyon, Phycophole, Miss Magius, Corviknight, and where's Amogus? Although the recommendations are have a course Kilowatch on Hulucha, which I really don't want to do that idea. Right, okay, so we can't set up because we don't have the capabilities of setting up. So we'll just be night slashing it and being on our way. Yeah, one down. I'm assuming the Bomb Snow is going to be up next. Yes, it is. Which means I'm going to do the simple thing. I'm going to swap over to Miss Magius. It may hurt on a wood hammer. A little bit. Not like a guarantee, like, it will die. But it's going to hurt. And we're in snow. But we are going for a mystical fire. Coverage! Ooh! And yep, wood hammer. Ow. But he hurts himself with recoil and kills himself! The Obama Snow commits suicide! Hooray! Well, back to my squadder. Because the penny fight you definitely need to do at night. Or the game has been lying to me the entire time. And we're still in snow for the moment, but that doesn't really matter too much. Night Slash. You know what? And I'll keep all the sphere on Mouse Squad because hey, it's coverage, not the best coverage necessarily. U-turn would certainly probably be more useful in terms of what static users, but hey, you know. Gyarados. We are doing this sort of maneuverability. We are going to utilize. I didn't really down this, but we're going to switch to Amoonguss. Not for Amoonguss, for Gyarados. This stops its Intimidate from really being all too useful, as we're not really going to be attacking Amoonguss, but we also can tank hits while we hope to get Spore hits. There's the Stone Edge. We dodge. Okay, that's good. That's even better than it could be. Now Spore puts Gyarados to sleep, and now we can swap over to Volt and hope to God we do the best we can. Levitate means we won't have to worry about Earthquake in any way, shape or form, but we do still need to be careful of a potential Stone Edge. And Aqua Tail as well, but less so Aqua Tail. Wait, we got the guaranteed 1 turn of sleep. Let's do this. Let's Thunderbolt. Yeah, and we got the sleep. Hooray! Gyarados, stay asleep. Woo! Keep sleeping, Gyarados. As I electrocute you to death. Full time speak to electric is really nice. It's a weakness that we can use. And the snow finally stopped as in comes his Amoonguss. Honestly, we can stay with Volt for the moment, as although it doesn't have a bug weakness, we can utilize that it certainly ain't gonna want to be hit by a bug move, necessarily. Bug Buzz is a nice move. Yeah, we deal most of the damage we need to, actually. And it goes for a Hex instead of going for the... Why not hit Poison or Sleep before? That was detrimental to your plan there, Costal. I hate to say this, but you've made this fight a lot easier, because now I'm just going to Terror do what I was planning to do, and that's Terror Water Apollyon. I didn't need to use this. So yeah, my backup ideas that I didn't use. I didn't even need to use Corviknight. We'll keep Corviknight. I might open Corviknight against the Umbreon just to body press it, but you know, it's so annoying sometimes. It's like you come up with all these strategies and then they're just not needed as the game decides, no, we're just not going to do things in the way that you need to. But yes, the starter that is good against us, Skeledirge. And oh, my boy Skeledirge! I hate to see that on the opposing side of one, but we chose Sprigatito, and I've got to say, is it? Sprigatito is it. May be good, but I think I've got my preference. I need plushies with the other starters I like the most from the regions. Don't quiz me on Unova though, I don't have an answer to that one. Actually no, my answer probably would end up being Oshawott because Lendraxis thinking it through. Whereas at least with other generations, it's, well, the other generations it's actually quite easy answers all the time, pretty much. I need to look for that ultimate tier, ultimate Pokemon tier as well, and like go through it and be like, these are my things, these are the things I like the most. Even if maybe there's a better Pokemon in the overall terms of the game itself, sometimes there are other reasons why we would like Pokemon. But we've done it. We've grown so much since we started our journey. We've now beaten Clavel. Hooray! Which means the only thing standing in our way in the Team Star storyline ending is Penny and her team of evolutions, meaning Umbreon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Leafeon, and Sylveon. Poor Glaceon. Never all that used. But then again, it makes sense to an extent. At the end of the day, the three formers from Gen 1, fair enough. Use them. That's a good dichotomy, water, fire, electric, fair enough. One of Umbreon or Espeon, and hey, Umbreon does have Psychic, so, you know. And then Sylveon was the one added last. Oh, and obviously either Leafeon or Glaceon, which would make me think maybe having an Ice move on Leafeon, but understandably I don't think it can, hence a War Beam on Vaporeon. Fel was doing this as a test to make sure that we truly are ready to do this whole big final fight. It's up to us now. And Time's here to scold, because why are you having a battle out here? Wabble, wabble, wabble. A little battle on school grounds? How dare you, how dare you, how dare... What's that? Stunky's behind. Yeah, okay, so yeah. Now we have to wait till dark. So while we're waiting for dark, I'm going to teleport to a place where I can heal. Because I can't really go to the Messagoza ones. And then maybe adjust the team. Corviknight and Mousecrada can deal with the Umbreon. Mousecrada deals with Vaporeon really easily. I'm gonna put Jolteon back on. I'm gonna put Gastron back on team probably for the Jolteon, and then also deals with Flareon. So yeah, well, Empoleon also does as well. But I think I'm gonna Gastrodon over that because it can deal with two of the phone things. Leafeon, we've got Corviknight for that, and also Frightful can stay on the team for it, I guess. And then I'm gonna swap out Among Us for Weatheroom. As Sylveon's fairy typing does not bode well for it when it comes to fighting a steel poison type. So, you know, this will work. We'll just heal the team. And then we've got to wait until it's gone dark to fight Penny. And then we'll be done with the Team Star stuff. I'm not sure whether I want to fight Nemona first or Arven first. Actually, I shouldn't be too worried about Arven, but we're dealing with all the other fights before Arven. I'm kind of doing it a little backwards, but well. Right, so Uva Academy. We can't go into Messagoza proper still. Can't. Actually, going in through the front might trigger the first cutscene of Blueberry, actually thinking it through. But it is evening time. It is getting dark. Can I just hold a picnic here quick? No. Yep, it triggers the Blueberry thing. Who do we have here? Yes, quick dose. So, we're not going into Blueberry, but we are meeting Director Cyrano at this time in his snazzy outfit. Certainly a man of various skills. But he does want us as an exchange student. Hooray! Do we try to Nuzlocke our way through the Blueberry fight? I mean, I basically have to level up my entire team even more so at that point. And I kind of get screwed by Drayton's trial because I need a whole team of... Because I need to catch a team of Terrarium-only Pokemon. But... Carmine recommended us, because of course she did. Well, all this entertaining stuff to do with the Blueberry DLC aside, I'm gonna have to... He'll just be standing there now. Since Psyduck's still there, I'm gonna say it still counts as day. We'll walk out the front door and try and wait for it to actually be night proper then. See, it does look night now. I argue that it's time. We can go in there. I want to say that I'll start with, due to Umbreon's defense stat being higher, no, special defense being the higher one of the two, I'm going to start with Corviknight. But we should, in all fairness, actually do this properly. If I do start with Corviknight, yeah, like, Dark Pulse is like the big one that's going to be it's going to do any amount of damage, but even then it's not going to be all that much actually. And there's plenty of people we can talk to actually in amongst all the different places, so you know, just goes to show we haven't really done anything of the school, to be fair. But it's not been needed. Right. And hello, Penny. Now, all hooded to try and be like, ooh, look at me, I'm the Cassiopeia. Ooh. Like, none of these are like that. Like, kind of reveals, to be fair. But then again, I'm not a child. I've seen my fair share of reveals that have been quite actually shocking. I won't detail which ones, because I don't want to spoil anything. But think of any obvious one. Yeah, those ones were obvious, weren't they? But, you know. Oh, pardon me. It's weird how there are some TikToks out there that are all like, oh, if you know more than 3 of these songs, you're officially some word to describe weird. And then it's always just a bunch of 80s stuff and like popular 80s music. So it's like, okay, so either people who remember the hits of the old days through like their parents blasting said music for however long, or people who just happen to enjoy music from that time period because they're old. And then it makes me old because I remember all of them because from listening to them throughout my time into 2000s instead. Because I've done that weirdly enough. But then again, that's what happens when you have parents blasting music from the 80s, I guess. But weirdly not the pop stuff. It was primarily more the metal. In that sense, but Penny's team of evolutions, they're so adorable, all 6 of them are. I'm gonna have to beat them up. Body press. Sadly, Baby Doll Eyes does lower our attack stat, but we are using body press, so... Ooh, that's... okay. Body press did not do as much as I thought. Or it is actually lowered from the attack roll, still. It just uses the... No, it's not. Okay, so it's just a case of it's thinking, damn, it's hitting hard. I don't think that much damage actually. Dark Pulse, the tracker says like Dark Pulse would deal the most out of anything, but didn't really do that much. Ah, Flareon. That makes sense. At the end of the day, Flareon's hard countered by a Gastrodon's typing, although stat-wise, Flare Blitz is still going to deal damage. Which means I can either self power. Oh, that's power. And it's Flare Blitz! Ah! Flareon! It's got a big fluffy tail. I would want to hug it and then get however many burns from the fiery tail. Then again, I really had plenty of ice, of freezing and fires on me from hugging Ninetales' tails, both forms. So, you know. Adorable Pokemon getting murdered. There ain't a better pastime. And Leafeon! We knew this was happening. Which means back to Corviknight, and we don't have to worry about those Build Lives that occurred earlier. So yeah, obviously. Oh, Leaf Guard. You really do much if you don't have a way of staying up Sun. Now the Baby Doll Eyes is gonna not be helping us. You know what? It's gonna Baby Doll Eyes. Let's Iron Defense. Let's just set up Iron Defense. Yeah, hit me for the Leaf Blade. That's gonna be super resistant. One more Iron Defense shall do it, and then we'll be the biggest bulk to bulk them all. The only reason why I didn't want to be having Corviknight in front of a Flareon is because at the end of the day, fire does hurt it. Damn you, Steel type. But it's fine. It's just the Baby Doll Eyes. So I'll just body press. It won't be super effective, but still hurt. So now it should be either Vaporeon or Jolteon. Unless you want to do Sylveon, which I would highly recommend. Jolteon! Yep, we'll stay in. Wait, why did I do that? It's thunder, it has thunder. I should have swapped. I'm what we call an idiot. I'll be honest, I don't know what the fuck I was doing there. I thought, oh yeah, +6 defense, and I forgot Vaporeon has an electric maneuver. I am an idiot. Me and just being an idiot when it comes to flying types for whatever reason, when I'm actively using a flying type, I just become dumb. I don't know what it is. Thank goodness I don't have a Star Raptor. I would be stupid. Maybe that's why we don't talk about Sinnoh much, because at the end of the day, everyone uses Star Raptor, and that includes me, and so therefore I'm just dumb by default, just like everyone else. We're all morons today. Hooray! In comes Vaporeon. I am definitely using Mousquada. I don't care about a Waller Beam. Actually, I probably should care about a Waller Beam to an extent, but we should be fine. Flower Trick will hurt it really well. That's based on very health. Vaporeon's quite bulky actually. But Flower Trick. Yeah, Flower Trick easily does it. I should have swapped on the Jolteon to Gastrodon. Because then I would have predicted the thunder. That was amazing. But yes, Sylveon. Our Weather Room can easily deal with this due to its steel poison typing. Shadow Ball is probably going to be Sylveon's best maneuver, although it won't get any stab out of it at any point whatsoever, so we'll just Poison Jab and be on our way, I think. And just like a star, Sylveon gets the shine. And it's using baby doll eyes! Hooray! My attack stat! And it's poisoned! Haha! Nice try, game. Nice try. Well, I say we got this in the bag. And with that, Penny is defeated, and with that, that is the Team Star storyline now done. Unfortunately, we do have to now say goodbye to Corviknight, for it died. Meaning our grave has another one in there. Just... 7 dead, but... Which means the only fight left... We've only got 2 more fights left before the tracker's actually out of fights, even though there's the Area 0 stuff. Which is weird that they even put Area 0 as an area you can... as a catchable place before you even have access to it, because you have to do these end fights. I do like I do like Team Star. In terms of the evil team, they're not that evil. In terms of the storyline, though, I do like it. And hey, they're all honourable, in the sense that they follow the code. Somehow Penny was fooled by the Clive disguise. Thankfully he's wearing his clothes under his clothes, because otherwise... And then we get in cutscene form all of Team Star showing up to talk to Penny. Hooray! The usage of the word family! Hooray! He better fucking be an English major post Scarlet and Final, for fuck's sake. Otherwise, he is wasting the usage of such stupid words. But, you know. Behold, Penny, you've got friends. A nice ending to a storyline. Congratulations, you guys can all hang out still. Hooray! This would be so much better if there was voice acting, to be honest. Scenes like this would work so much better if Nintendo actually hired voice actors. Which is even more bizarre that at least someone hires some amount of voice actors for Pokemon characters, because Pokemon Masters exists. And it has, like, pretty much every major character in that game is voiced. So, a mobile game can do it. But why the fuck can't Nintendo? Please, Gen 10, have that be like a big talking point. Like, hey guys, we're finally caught up with the rest of the industry. Now we can be the target of a SAG-AFTRA strike too. Or we can be the target of people being idiots as well. In the case of the people choosing to just not work for Ho-Yo, and then Ho-Yo being like, okay, bet, and replacing them. Well, they still end up having to do community service. To an extent, but yeah. But I don't know the idea of, but yeah, train facilities for forms of battling outside just the standard one-on-one affairs makes sense, you know? If we ever go back to Paldea for any reason, that'd be lovely to see, maybe in a more of a way that isn't just they're trying to be evil fuckers, and they're not really that evil. They're all wholesome sweethearts at the end of the day. Well, most of them. I think Mella's trying to put on more of a tough act, but still. At the end of the day, though, it is the middle of the night now. Maybe it's best for everyone to just go indoors. And of course, Kafel wants to talk to us in his office, because, yeah, I mean, he wants to do so. And we get put here! Which allows us to now head to the director's office, since he wanted us there. Only 2 more fights to go on the grand scheme of things. We need to fight Arvin, ideally, first. His team is weaker of the 2. Gah, fucking Fire Fang on the Master Boss Div. Of course, that's to stop me from using any Pacific Pokemon that might be able to resist Dark a little bit more. But Gravel gives us thanks, and Penny comes in because we need a bit of an epilogue to the whole. Penny kind of was doing some illegal stuff anyway still. Because it turns out Penny may have been doing some illegal shenanigans with the LP. Lock her up. Oh, it wasn't all that hard. The firewalls that they have for the LP system in Paldea is obviously worse than the voting machines in America. Sadly, that means that whatever discussion we were going to have with Clavel kind of have to be a stop for now. And what objectives do I possibly have here, other than because this probably is, yeah, that's off the Blueberry. So we got Nimona and we got Arvin. Let's teleport to Mesagoza South. Oh yeah, we can't call Flying Taxi here. God damn it. Let's go down to the entrance hall. We've got 2 fights to do. 2 fights to do. 2 fights to do. We've lost the Corviknight in the process, so I'm going to go to Pokemon Center, but I need to leave the Academy first. Hey. See, at the end of the day, the Greedent I'm actually not too worried about, because A, it doesn't have bloody Super Fan or counter weapon. And Penny's calling us. Hello, Penny. So what I told you about? Could you come meet me in front of the school steps? First way, I'll be waiting. Ah, right, yeah. We can do then. Penny's now there if we want, because that's probably to wrap up Starfall Street. We're going to teleport to Mesagoza South for the moment, because I really want to make sure my team is healed and Ozo Corviknight is in the box of the dead. So, you know, we just got to consider what we got to do with Arvin now. Arvin. The Greedent at the end of the day. Honestly, we could start Mouse Squadron and use Aura Sphere, maybe. because Psychic Fangs doesn't do much. Body Slam is really the only move that is going to harm at all, really, because it is a normal stab maneuver of the physical variety. But besides that, not too bad. At the end of the day, Icicle Spirit is going to be super effective. Really, our best options is a fighting rock, grass, or electric type just to hit it as hard as possible. Maybe Pormont would be suited for this, as Vacant does have super effective maneuvers, and it's got Skill Link, so it's guaranteed to hit 5 times on those things. Oh, we want to not get harmed. Gastron Agent Power could be an option, because it can't use Liquidation. Let's go Villain, has Energy Ball. Ugh. I would have kind of wanted a flying type realistically then. But Weather Wound can't handle Fire Blast. Ugh. That stops me from using the poison. The Scrophulin actually might be what's going to harm me the most, because most likely I can build a Toad quite easily, and then yeah, the rock. Gargan Salt has Stone Edge and Body Press, just to really try and harm me quite a bit. That's positive. Fire Fang stops me from using my starter, so we've got to think our way through that. I will consider my options in a minute. Where's my text bit? Because I need the toilet. So you get to hear the dulcet tones of the Pokemon Center while I'm on the toilet of it. So I'll be back in a minute. And we are back, and my hair is a mess. I like having long hair for that reason. Just the mess sometimes when, you know. Anyways, Arvin. We need to figure this shit out, alright? We need to figure this out, and if we can't figure it out, we could try and figure out Nimona. Best bets against Greedent, we have our Masquerado, Aura Sphere. Other than that, just general resistances against the moves it does have that it has for coverage purposes. So we could always spore with Amoongus and go from there and switch to a Pokemon and then just go pummel it. That's what I might do. So Greedent, I'm not as worried about. Cloyster, I'm a bit worried. I'm a little bit worried. Liquidation's gonna hurt on the Pokemon that aren't gonna be. See, that's the thing. I can nullify its attempts to use this stuff with like Leather Womb. But at the same time, it's not necessarily the strongest to go with, just because we'll just be hitting for neutral. But we have got Shift Gear, so I need to move Corviknight into box 16, box 8 rather. Leather Room, we do have Shift Gear, so we can up our speed and our attack stat. We can use healing items. We can make it so we can hit as hard as possible. We just can't stay in against the Scovillain because it's got Fire Blast. Sadly. So our poison move here isn't useful. And our only other real poison type users are grass and stuff. Pawmont does sweep off with Encore, Bulk Up, fighting with a Thunder Punch with an Air Balloon. You can bait Greedent to use Earthquake and lock it while not taking any damage because of the Air Balloon, then set up with Bulk Up. Pawmont is level 53, we'll have to go back to grinding, sadly, but that is an option. Does it get Bulk Up normally? No, it does not. It's a Survival Blessing, because of course it does. Which means we'll have to learn it. Let's double check that real quick with Pawmont on the Greedent. Yeah, we tease out the Earthquake. The only thing we do have to be careful of is Psychic Fang, but then that's why we use Encore, because you use Encore with it, you bait out the Earthquake. So it might be worth, we start with something that it's guaranteed to go for. Yeah, Encore's a TM move, 100% is. I'm not surprised I haven't really used it. Gets me Encored for 3 turns. So it's not going to be useful, and that's going to go for. You could be, yeah, we can use Weather Room to bait the Earthquake. Or Glamora, which makes sense as a starting Pokemon. I do not have Bulk Up by the looks of things. So that's a slight issue. I don't have Bulk Up. I actually just don't have it. So we can at least Encore and then just pummel. Because we have superpower. But yeah, we need Air Balloon basically equipped. That is slightly annoying. I would have thought I would have had it. So that's a thing. So to our bag. Oh wait, we need Pawmont in the team. The only other downside is currently it's another thing. Bulk up is a fighting move. Oh, well that's my mistake then. Break, body press, punch. Bulk up, there we go, bulk up. I apparently have not murdered a thing that it would be used for. I ate the Mankey fur because. Here we go, let's see, so we got in Generation 9, it tells us how to do it through. Does it tell us through this at all, or does it not? Yeah. Machine. Give me what I want, game. I mean, this website. Bulk up is number 64. And get it through. Actu scales? Oh, where? We're going to fight Actus now. Alright, I just refreshed the chat thing. I don't know if I needed to do that or not. So those messages might appear there for a second. Right, I need to go and fight Actus now. Why the hell do I find Actus in the game? Actus. Pokédex. Axu is found primarily in supposedly North Province Area 1. That was at the passage. There's a fixed location of West Province Area 1. Supply Area 3, South Province Area 5. Okay. That's Area 6. Area 5 is over this side. Well, let's go hunt down some Actus. While we do that, I mean, now we deal with that and that. Pokemon leveled up better. Pokemon would definitely handle. Would handle the first two Pokemon easily. Isn't weak to Scovillain. So that's not too bad, and we can always switch back in to Pawmont for the Dargon Soul and Miss Positive. So we just need a good Pokemon for Scovillain and Toadscrew, and then that's our main two. Where around here would we find Actus? The game, I'm not sure if the game's here. It says that they can spawn. These are useful. What does murder those who fight you inside? Unboosted. Yeah, we just got one on the level of caution, obviously, by Rain Dance. Mainly just because at the end of the day, stab, fire, blast if it hits, ow. Stab, energy ball if it hits, ow. Sun headbutt's not stab. Our defense stat could do better. Come on. Oh, that's a hound. That's a houndstone. It's not expecting that detailed. Where is? Maybe I'm not looking in the correct part. What's maybe I'm not looking in the correct part. Now I I know you can definitely find them in the DLC. Once again, making me question, maybe we do descend into Blueberry. Try and get additional encounters that may just counter everything that we've got left. But it's not as simple as I would like it to be. Nope, there's Goomies. We can see the Goomies. No actions. I'm gonna have to try Delicate Passage. Because I'm not finding them. Where are we? We go to here for Delicate Passage. Right. If I can't find any axes, then we may have to come up with a different strategy. But Paulmont, we're adding Paulmont's the team. Paulmont's coming back. It took a break. It's coming back. Now, either it's on the outside or on the inside. Oh, there's a big one. Maybe it's in. It says South Florence. It's one area 6. It's double area 6 and 7. No, because that cave has the. I might not be thinking the right bit of the passageway heading this way. Because this takes me passage into so let's head back upwards. This is where it's like, actually no, it's something else because actually it's Violet is an Infinite. It's like, no, it has to be. It's done. Right, this is the way to Delhi this time. No, I need to just make sure it shows up on the thing. No, it's not showing up on the thing. God damn it. We might have to go for a different strategy than boosting, because let's face it, I am probably too stupid for it to have it like keep on going. I need to land it now. Or duck trios. If I go too high up, I'm going to go into the mountain. Yep, I'm no on the mountain. Let's not go into the last maybe they are in the passage, and it just has to be like above. Oh. Certainly ain't lacking in the pyro department. All the rare candies! Holy shit, there's tons of rare candies around here. Then again, it makes sense they would hide a bunch of rare candies around here. Seeing as moving around here is not the easiest without. There's an Axu. Now we just murder this Axu. So probably find another 2. At least. Yeah, at least find another 2 or something. There's no one. Hooray! We found the Axu. Lovely stuff. So yeah, we bait the earthquake with an heavily on the torment. Because Greedon is slow. Like, no matter what Pokemon we use, it will definitely go fast. Oh wait, you're actually in the tree! Ah. Golden weapon. This is a good shot. This is a good shot. Right, that should be the Axu scales. Let's hop back down to the Pokemon Center right nearby. Whoa, wait, hold on. Before that, oh, damn it. That was not what we wanted to do. I did not want to fight the Deerling. Just for this Deerling, you get punished. This is when a Swordsbuck comes and shoves me off the cliff. Killing its child. But what TM do we get? No, poison tail. Okay. Whee! Splat. TM machine. I want to make bulk up. Bulk up. Yes. As this does boost both attack and defense, this does mean that any physical maneuvers of any of the other Pokemon will suddenly not be hurting as much. We'll take it over Bite, and we'll definitely be using close combat in the event of having to deal with Pokemon that maybe a close combat would be more useful on. Otherwise, yeah. That definitely helps. Grinding time keeps on happening because we need to get more Pokemon leveled. What's the line agility now? No, fuck off game. We can get to 59 with 5 rare candies. Lovely stuff. And why not use the muscle feathers? Right, other than that, let's go and use an air balloon, because we do have that one. We bought an air balloon well ahead of time. We was waiting for a use for it. Right, now for the rest of the team, heading into the fight. Weather Room, yes. Hell, Vigafol can also... Well, Vigafol can't bait the Earthquake because of its levitate. Same with this Magdius. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what else we're using, because Musquada probably will get used, because we'll be fine as a backup strat. So yeah, Pormon bulk up a bunch after encoring and earthquaking Greedent. Then we can go through there. Most likely we can take on... Yeah, because most of the team we can take on is just Spookfilling and Toadstool. But just in the event that Pormon goes down, ideally... it uses so much grass. Ugh. And of course all my fire types died. Well, I think Miss Magius stays because it has good usage on that front. I'm going to nope out Gastrodon and put in Empoleon because it has got nice stuff to it that it can utilise. And I'm noping out Vikafol, and I'll slot in Garchomp for the time being. Because at the end of the day, a Pseudo Legendary is a Pseudo Legendary. Its stats will be ever useful. And now we'll heal, and yeah. Arvin is to be fought. Not really going to be needing to do too much. Really, once we battle Arvin, we'll get the dialogue to do with like, hey, we need to prepare to go to Area 0, and then we'll be locked out of Area 0 until we wrap up Starfall Street fully and beat Nero up. So yeah. So yeah, we start there and go to that, and then everything else is just going to be useful for just in the event of Pormon going down, because, you know, it does happen. Right. The Lighthouse. It's a shame Thunder Punch is basically the best electric move we can realistically use without any issues. So yeah, we start with that, but we go to that, and so yeah. We can only bulk up a number of times because of how it works. But right, anyways, at the Lighthouse, we get our dialogue. Apparently we managed to get here before Arvin, even though we were busy doing a lot of other stuff. It's time for us to do a bit of investigations. Which means, of course, since we're investigating, we get a bunch of clue tokens. We'll be able to draw more cards. Hooray! Equip the air balloon. Ding, ding, ding. We did. If we didn't, I would be in a lot of bad... I'm thankfully not that stupid. My own revolve sometimes may prove against me, but still. Cutscene, as this lab has clearly been in non-use for a bit. Looks rather dusty, but hey, you know, might just turn themselves on. I need your help. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're the only one that can help me. The professor, because of your version, is now claiming to be deep within the crater and needs your help, so... Although some of the language certainly is a bit on the curious side of things. Thankfully, we already have the final book, which is good. No need to go hunting around for it. But regardless, it's... Area 0. Right, outside of all the shenanigans we're doing with the fights, Area 0 has a load of Pokemon I have not actually properly fought ever, so... might end up not doing too well against... But they are the iron stuff. So like Iron Threats, we've already fought one of, is Ground Steel. Iron Bundle, Ice Water. Iron Hands, the bitch, is fighting Electric. Iron Jugular, Stark Flying, I think it's not Dragon. Iron Moth, Fire Poison. Iron Thorns, Rock Electric, and then the Pokédex skips over a couple because that's when you get the Excalibur line. And Ruin Pokemon, and Gimme Goal. There is also Iron Valiant, a fairy fighting. But yeah, so quite a few fighting types, a few steel types, not as many as you'd think. With all of them having like iron in the name, you'd think, steel type. So, you know, interesting. But it was the great crater of Paldea that Arvin went into in the first place, and Miss Ostif got hurt, so... We got to go, Arvin. We have to do our job. I'm not sure if it's lighting or something, but it might be the lighting that's, like, making it look like he's got, like, big sideburns right now. To prove that we're ready to go in, well, there's probably more Arvin wanting to prove that he's definitely capable of facing any potential threats. Thankfully, we do get a moment where we get to double check. Yep, air balloon on Portmont. Good. Do I have any other fucking XP items? No, I didn't go on my box. Any other XP items? Nope. Darn it. Ah, well. Wait, let's just go. We'll go in, and if Arvin kills us, I'm going to be pissed, but hey, you know. I'm gonna need 2 de-stressing editions of Final Fantasy 14 streams. No, I wouldn't inflict that on people. Although really, I should carry on with the main story of Final Fantasy 14. But then again, I'm one level scholar, and I want to get all the job stones. That's positive. No, easy boo. No. Yo, what's good? Hello, Strong Lion. We are about to be facing Arvin. Trepidation is certainly a thing, as we're going to be trying to bait out an earthquake, so hopefully Arvin does do that, or he's dumb enough to do that with against the weather room, so that we can switch out to a different Pokemon and then encore it. So we'll be forever doing earthquakes for at least 3 turns. So, Arvin! Starting with the Greedent, is a thing. Our starting level is solely for different shenanigans. And his thing is quite nice thematically, as it is pretty much every single Pokemon that you encounter you've seen him use before, so yeah. Usefulness. Right, so Cormorant comes on out. Floating in the air with the air balloon, earthquake, haha, and then the encore, and it gets to the encore for 3 times. I think this time it does count, so that means we only get 2 times of bulk up. Probably time 2. And this should be time 3. It says the encore's ended, and then I was correct in the thing. Yep, encore's ended. Now, let's see, can we encore again? We can. Ah, infinite loop, hooray! He's forever earthquaking. Right, well, I guess we can forever bulk up then. We can get +6 through another encore. So, right, so that's the second turn of this encore. Figured it out. Then we do it again this turn. This will be time 3 of the earthquake for this encore. And the encore again. That'll be time 1 and 2. It's like encore is Giga Busted. It is useful. Right, so encore again. I don't know why the tabs from that. So yeah. Right, so just encored. So he's on 2 of 3. And you're on +4, so do it twice now. So one last bulk up. Now to start something. And of course, yes, obviously Thunder Punch the close there. Close combat. 1 down. Now, we don't actually lose out on our +6 attack at any point because it knows it. But we are still +6 defense, so should be close to next. No, he's going Gargansoul. He's going Gargansoul. I think I know why he wants to do that. He wants to Earthquake. But he can't. So we'll just close combat. +6 close combat. So it's base 120 power. +6. With 115 base attack. Yeah, no, yeah, poor on sweeping this one. Toad's Cruel! Toad's Cruel, Toad's Cruel. Yep, in we go. Yeah, it's not going to be super effective. But... Ooh, our power actually could... Ooh. Yep, but we quit. We quit anyway, so it doesn't matter. Is he going to go through everything besides Cloister knowing it's weak to electric? That's going to be fun. Let's go for the next Oh, never mind. Might not matter at the moment because we're wanting to learn Double Shock. Double Shock is a physical maneuver of 120 base power, and we would cease to be electric type. Give it a PP up. I'll take it. You know what, I'll use that for now. And if it turns out that, like, actually, no, this is the worst thing possible to do. Yeah, and now it's good. Its glass typing renders electric and not as useful at the moment, but we'll use super power anyway, because I think I'll take like base defense. Oh, although I do believe we are now a -3 special defense and +3 physical defense still, so we currently may not do too well after this kill. Well, anyway, so it should be the cloister now, because that cloister is usually mad, unless he's mad. Yeah, cloister, time for the double shot. Because who needs Thunder Punch when you can definitely have a stronger electric maneuver? All of the electricity Pormon has poured entirely into a cloister. Now we're just pure fighting. As the last positive comes about. It would have worked to live. Oh, and it has Intimidate. Ooh, Intimidate. Oh, Intimidate. Ooh, bastard of a move, of an ability. He has a terror as positive, but then again it's pure dark normally, and then it's super dark. I think regardless of whether we win or lose this, I might just do a play for it. Like I'll draw like a picture of a card or something and like there's a I'm not sure how I draw anything. But we did it! We beat Arvin! Pormont sweep. Pormont disappeared for a while and has come back and has done a good job. Now, will we be able to use Pormont for any shenanigans going forward? We could bait a drill one from Walk on the Mona's team, but also it has Stealth Walk, so maybe not. We need to consider our options when it comes to Nemona, as we do get a bunch of dialogue now. Because at the end of the day, we're going to need 2-ish more people. Someone who's champion ranked and someone who's got crazy tech skills, so we can suggest Penny. We're going to suggest Nemona, which obviously is a sensible thing. Who else in the stall's really got the battle skills of Nemona other than ourselves? Because we're per arse, hopefully. Really, the only thing that's really frightening me now is going to be that. But anyway, Path of Legends is now actually officially completed. We'll wrap up the Starfall Street dialogue with Penny in a minute as well. Anyway, let's head over to the Pokemon Center over by Los Platos. Now we've got to deal with Nemona and her team of... See, the thing is, at the end of the day, we can Flower Trick the Lycan Walk very quickly and hope to God we don't end up having to deal with Stealth Walk for the rest of our team to be having to deal with. Other than that, so Lycan Walk I'm not really too worried about. Meanwhile, the rest of the team. She has a Pseudo in Goodra. It is a dragon, it's pure dragon. It doesn't have Steel type, thankfully, because it's not the Husui version. But it does have really good special defense and special attack, meaning its Ice Beam is going to hurt, and it has Sludge Bomb, just to really hammer it home that it really doesn't want me using my Grass type starter. But we could probably do a good job anyway. Pardon me. This also stops me from using my Pseudo, because, yeah, 4 times 3 to Ice. Ugh. But the Dunsparce, a normal shenanigans. Can Pormont tank? Pormont with an Air Balloon means it won't get hit with Drill 1. But Hyper Drill can still hit it, so And it can set up with coil. Napoleon, we can terror water it, obviously. Wolfram's just pure steel, but it does have Earthquake, just to stop me from maybe messing around too much. Again, a fighting type maneuver will do lovely. See, this is the I should have not accidentally got Corvus Knight murdered. Because let's face it, it would be really useful against all these leading ground type users, ground type maneuvers users. And then of course we have a Portmont of our own to have to deal with. A fairy or a psychic will do lovely. I would probably prefer a fairy because close combat will hurt us. Hurt my psychic types primarily, and of course fairy also does well against Crackfold, but it will terror into mortar, and then we can maybe do stuff with our starter against it. But maybe not as well. Like we can nullify the Brick Break and whatnot, but the Aerial Ace and Ice Spinner, no, we can't. So it's got good coverage. It has real good coverage. So we need to sort out our team. We need to definitely sort it out. Like at the end of the day, Malsquada can lead against the Lycanroc. Portmont as well can do good stuff. Fairy or Psychic Pokemon, I have a Fairy. We have Florges. Florges has Moonblast, and immunity to Dragon. But that's the point of Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb is there, so I can't just myriad around with a fairy type. That actually hurts me a bit. Like if I use Halloween, that would be deadly because it's 2 times weaker to that. Florges can tank it better because of its higher special defense of 154. It is slower though, but that's. But we are. But special that down. So Moonblast on a Goodra could work. All of our team are 65, so outside Crack Revolve, so we have to keep that in mind as well. And we could actually open with Florges against Lycanroc because of Petal Dance. Like if we really wanted to, it's just that we'd be slower anyway, so maybe not so much as a whole. Still typing of Orthra means Portmont's probably going to be my best bet. Just gotta be careful with various maneuvers. Portmont's electric fighting shenanigans is my main reason why I want to put Florges on the team, really, because very psychic shenanigans is always fun to have. So it's a question of, can Garchomp be useful for anything? Orthra, if it wasn't for Earth Eater, its weaknesses are purely fire and fighting because of it. So we have got Malsquada wielding Sphere. It's just that I'm gonna have to terror it into grass so we could hit it without worrying about Body Press or Iron Tail. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll open Malsquada, terror it into grass, and then every time we need it to be using its grass stuff, or any coverage, we can do that. Portmont's also the option for that. Same with the Dunsparce. Maybe we'll do a similar thing with the Dunsparce and bait out a ground move with Weather Room, switching into Portmont, because Portmont is faster. So yeah, we could try and bait out Drill 1. By doing the switcheroo strategy. I am Optimus Magius out for Florges. I think Florges is a good choice. Only thing is Portmont is 5 levels lower. That's my only concern. 55 base speed versus the base speed of a Portmont, which is 105. Actually, probably could do well there. As for the Portmont, it's electric fighting with Volt Absorb. It has Ice Punch to stop me from using Garchomp. but the ground typing means we are immune to the electric if we use Gastrodon. Let's look. Gastrodon. Gastrodon. There it is. Yeah, just gotta be careful with the close combats, basically. As I could bait a double shock, and then it becomes pure fighting, sadly. But so really, then double shock ain't gonna be as deadly. But we've got fight. Vulgus is gonna be definitely useful for this. How does Apollyon fare? Definitely bad against that, but break and that, earthquake on that, drill on that. Maybe I'll use Apollyon on the Gudra, just as like it can tank all the moves, and then Sandstorm. And it boosts its evasion and then go in hard hitting on many of the Pokemon that aren't going to be hitting it for super effective stuff. So we can fight Orthworm with Garchomp, definitely. Quackfar's Ice Spin, that's a bit stuck in it. She's counters Dragon too hard. I can't, unless I Terror Garchomp instead of Masquerada. Because then Pure Ground. Nah, Garchomp's not useful. Garchomp is not going to be useful in the slightest. The only thing, I don't want Tormont to hit any moves, so theoretically a Moongus Spore would be a good option, but then I think I'm focused firing on the wrong Pokemon. Gastron's a good option, I think, just as a thing, but then maybe not. Let's use Gastrodon. We'll go with this team. I think. We murder Lycanroc with a grass move. We make sure we're using Apollyon for the Gudra. The moment she sends in the Dunsparce, we're going to be sending in Weatherroom to Beta Drill 1 and then Encore Strap. Then Orthworm is just do whatever we can to beat it up. Because at the end of the day, it's 145 base physical defense, so a special move would do the trick. Ormond, we go Flogus. And then Crackerfall will terror into pure water, which means anything that can deal good damage to water will do the trick. So, anyways, as we make our way down the stairs, Penny gets to do more dialogue, and yeah, some of the team style stuff could be seen as cringy. And it's like, you don't need consequences to occur. We did a good job. And we do get Draco Meteor. It's a special attacking dragon move that deals a good amount of damage. But as I've been looking through the Pokemon we're fighting, Nemona is very much ready to murder you if you use a dragon. So kind of sucks a bit on that front, but which one did I put? I think I put Dash Dominating. I think that's correct. It might be wrong. And off goes Penny, because that wraps up the Team Star one. It was just a quick conversation. We could have gone down there, but I didn't want to risk triggering the Monona stuff fight. So you know, at that very point, I'm confident we can take on the Mona. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win, and then we get every single If we fail, then no. It's not that there was going to be much more anyway. We do get cutscene. Because, yeah. What's that? We've got 2 students who are champions? By God, we should watch them fight. And those Elite 4 members happen to be here just because, yeah, makes sense. It's not like they've got anything else to do. So, yeah. Let's do this. A battle between champions. We're challenged by Champion Momo and her Lightning Rock of the day. Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, I would not use Flower Trick on a Walk type. Yeah, one shot the Lightning Rock, ding ding ding. That's good, 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 good. Counting crits on Flower Trick. That doesn't enough time to be spent murdering the rest of the team. And then Pormon. Oh no, Pormon. Okay, wait, right. Right, I'm gonna be a little bit later than that. Anyway, Florgus. Florgus coming out. I don't care that double shot is gonna deal how much damage? Potentially. We are just gonna hit as hard as possible with a fairy maneuver. Poor monster will hit us fast, but we hopefully can win. Oh yeah, double shot. Credit will now be just pure fighting. Whoa! It took us down to that much health. Oh boy. Okay, Moonblast kills. Whew. Okay, yes, Florgus. Yeah, Florgus, a late addition to our lineup of Pokemon, has helped us out in the fighting base, and it's helping us out now. We have to switch though, because Orphan is going to hit us with a Steel Shenanigans. I was kind of hoping to be able to go a different route when it came to that. I can't use Earth Power this time. So Pormon, come on in. It can't Earthquake me, but it can take out my Air Balloon, meaning my Dunce Boss idea is going to fall to the wayside because of the variety of powers switching in. So we can't get hit by Earthquake, which is good. But that means it's just going to do something else. So we might as well just close combat now. Oh, we didn't one shot. Okay. Right now, let's not get one shot. Body burst. Oh, that did a lot of damage, and that's our Air Balloon popped. Right, we close combat a second time. Orphan down, that's half her team. I am switching Pormon out, and hands down on that one. Now the Dunce Boss. Right, okay, well we can't do the shenanigans I was wanting to do in a repeat form. Right, want to... I'm going to swap to Masquerada, as the only thing we have to be careful of is a potential Paper Drill, which, oh yeah, it has Swing Grace, which means it doubles the chances of moves extra effects, which means, ooh, it has extra chance of pulling Flinch. Ooh, not a fan of that idea. Oh, a Sphere Masquerada! Oh, we didn't even do half. Okay, and it's we didn't even half, and that's about half. That was super effective, but that's a guarantee. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do a flower trick. I'm gonna hope to God the flower trick quite is good enough. I don't want my squad to die, but yes. Okay, good. Whew. Okay. Should be Guja next. Should be Guja next. Yep, it's Guja next. In comes Napoleon. It just tanks everything. Nothing hits it hard, and we can hit Guja with every move that isn't resisted as hard as humanly possible. We are having to deal with its superior special defense, but that is a risk I'm willing to take. At least I can't be hit with the sludge bomb, and at least the enemies are assisted. So, yeah, flash cannon will do the trick. Dragon Bolt, that is the best move we can use. That does that much damage. Good, 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 good. Flash cannon for beams of dragonness and beams of stillness. That's. Well, that's its special defense showing. Shit. I think we're gonna have to hit. Napoleon, not much health, not much. We can do another flash cannon. We'll do one more flash cannon and then we're gonna have to kill or swap or whatever. Yep. So we could actually tank another one, but you never know when a critical shot happens. So. And Guja's on the report. Yay! Finally, the special defense drop on the last possible hit needed. Oh, right, well, we'll heal. Max potion. Oy, okay. I like Guja. It's a slimy dragon. But my badass baby. Right, that means all that's left is the crack revolt that turns into a pure water type. I am half tempted to swap to like Gastrodon for the moment. Yeah, know what? I want to heal Mouse Gawada. So we're gonna swap to. Actually, no. We're gonna swap to Mouse Gawada. We outspeed. I'm gonna flower trick. We're going to Terra Mouse Gawada and flower trick. If it doesn't kill, then I might mean that it's the end of it. I mean, one hell of a performance by Nelson. Guaranteed crit on a thing that's weak, that has a weakness. It is forever useful. At the end of the day, it won't have the fighting stab, and that's one thing that I because otherwise it would probably go for Quick Break, and we would die horribly. But we do Telegrass, which is great. It's great that we remove a weakness that we have. Flower Trick. Kill it, yes! Yes! With that, we mark our victory. In terms of the tracker that we've been using, that's every fight listed. For whatever reason, it doesn't list the area 0 encounters. I don't know why it doesn't. I guess because it specifically goes for gym leaders, Elite 4 rival fights, and evil team, and that's none of the above. But like the literal only routes we've got ongoing is Area 0 and the Pokemon League. Pokemon League, there's like nothing there. But Area 0, we can get like one last good Pokemon. Well, potentially a good Pokemon. We did it! Woohoo! Are we the strongest? well, seeing as we have no way of getting to the Pokemon World Tournament area in Unova, on that one, but hey, you know, it's lovely that we've done it. We've done all 3 of the stories. That's great. It's so good that we did that. This, considering our first attempt to file it, we died really quickly, like horribly quickly. I'm glad we've done so much better. So, in terms of our storylines leading into that we've gone through the whole of Paldea. Battle-minded Nimona is forever wanting to do more battles. But hey, you know, it is what it is. This isn't the ending of the game though. We have Area 0. But it's nice that we've done all 3 of the storylines. And we didn't lose a single Pokemon to Nimona. I was actually thinking, oh, we're going to lose at least 1. Maybe 2 at most. But no, we lost none. Which is great. And now we'll get the phone call from Arvind, because now we are ready to go to Area 0. So, yeah. We've been able to secure Nimona and Penny as allies that will be waiting for us at the 0 gate over there. We are now allowed to go in there. We're not, since obviously the person's like, hey, we need you to come into Area 0. Pardon me. So they're not going to stop us from that. So yeah, no, this has gone really well. This is done. We've done really, really well for ourselves. And we've done so much. My head. I can just feel the stress building up. I need to get away from doing Nuzlocke for a bit. I really do. Why do I start doing Nuzlocke? I'm going down the road that I criticized. Like, oh, you do your standard playthroughs, and then you do the challenge playthroughs, and then you do the fucking crowbar to the bulls challenge ones of games that you enjoy playing, and while you are able to have fun, it just ends up being like, okay, so it gets hard, so you're doing it because you just need it to be harder and harder and harder and harder and harder, and I'm not the biggest fan of that direction for any channel that I happen to have watched in the past, or any channel that I don't watch. It's just like, so that you're always having to now go for more and more harder stuff, or more unique stuff, or else it's just like, oh, more of the same. Oh, that's boring. But so, right, next time, Area 0, the tracker does not have any of this, so we'll be utilizing other websites to double check which ones, well, what the type advantages are of the Paradox Pokemon as we get to them. Maybe even use Cerebi just to double check what the protocol has as its team, because this is Violet. I've not beaten Violet before. I've beaten Scarlet, and let's face it, Scarlet actually is quite simple. Actually, the Scarlet one is. Obviously, once we get to, basically, we just have to beat the protocol with our proper normal team, because then we're in the Koraidon double match, Mirror Affair, which obviously that's more scripted and you can't lose. So that would be where we would be done. But it would still be good to close out the game, you know, on that. If you like what you see, you can always check out the other stuff on the channel, and I'll see you